Matthew.
Hi, Claire.
Now, those protests, as I was just saying, in Turkey are entering their fifth day, and there are fears over what impact they could have economically.
Yes, that's right. We saw it reflected in the stock market on Monday. Will it have a lasting effect on the economy, which has been pretty robust in recent years? And in particular, will foreign investors start to pull back out of Turkey? Well, earlier I spoke to Sinan Ulgan in Istanbul. Now, he is the head of the Centre for Economics and Foreign Policy Studies, and he said that foreign investors in Turkey may be worried, but their fears should be short-lived.
Structurally, it is going to be easier to settle Turkey's problem. It really depends on the Prime Minister coming out and saying a few conciliatory words and accepting to change his style of governance. And therefore, for the time being, they will just follow the events, and I don't think that it's going to have an impact in the short term on Turkey's foreign direct investment flows.
Now, the stock market in Turkey fell 10% on Monday. How's it doing now?
Well, perhaps investors feel that it fell far enough because it's actually up slightly at the open, around 2%, 2 to 3%. Now, here in Europe, markets have also just opened, and there are also some slight increases there as well. I can also tell you, Claire, Spanish unemployment down slightly this month, 2% down on the previous month. Slightly good news there. Meanwhile, in Asia, we've seen some strong gains again from the market in Japan, up 2% at the close there, much better than yesterday when it was falling.
Now, Japanese politicians seemed pretty relaxed when they arrived at work a little bit earlier.
Yes, they were dressing down as part of an annual campaign. It's called the Super Cool Biz campaign. Now, the idea of this, there we can see them, is that if you reduce the amount of sort of stuffy clothes you wear in the summer, you reduce the energy needed for those energy-consuming air conditioner machines as well, which is good for the country. So the politicians, the MPs there were arriving for their cabinet meeting. Let's take a listen to what they were saying.
It feels great. It feels breezy.
Does this shirt suit me? I don't think it suits me.
I'd like to see French politicians doing that. Speaking of, here in France, there aren't many laughs, though, for the online retailer Amazon.
No, Amazon's been attacked in pretty strong words by the French culture minister Aurélie Filippetti. She's called it a destroyer of bookshops and says that it's deliberately undercutting its rivals. Well, it's perhaps a surprising attack on a company that's made some significant investments here in France.
A fresh attack by the French government on an internet giant. Just weeks after Industry Minister Arnaud Montebourg torpedoed Yahoo's attempts to buy French video sharing website Dailymotion, Culture Minister Aurélie Filippetti hits out at online retailer Amazon.
The publishing industry is being challenged by some websites at every opportunity which are looking to break into the French and European markets. Now everyone is tired of Amazon. It's dumping and slashing prices when it enters the market and then raising them once they have a near monopoly.
The statements came as the French government announced it would be joining up with publishers in a new €9 million project to support independent bookstores. It's unlikely to go down well with Amazon, who opened a large distribution centre in France last year and are set to open another in July. But Filippetti and Montebourg aren't alone in their criticism of online companies. In April, the Digital Industries Minister accused Apple of being brutal when it excluded a French startup from its app store. Meanwhile, the government has asked public prosecutors to investigate Skype for failing to register as a telecoms operator. Even the French president has weighed in. Earlier this year, François Hollande put pressure on Google to pump €60 million into the country's ailing newspaper industry.
I have to say I'm flabbergasted by this story. A big spending customer helped boost the takings at Disneyland Paris.
That's right, and they could use it as well. A Saudi prince spent €15 million over 3 days at the park there. He was there celebrating his degree. This is Prince Fahd Al Saud. He booked entire areas of the park for his 60-odd guests. And, well, as I said, Disneyland Paris could do with a bit of help because although they've had really good numbers of visitors, 16 million last year, in fact, Euro Disney still continues to make losses. So a few more of those through the gates could help, I expect.
Why weren't we invited?
I know. Weren't you invited?
Hopefully next time. Thank you very much, Matthew, for taking us through the day's business news. Coming right up, a look at the international papers.